Here we go. We're live.
You live? I'm gonna pull
We're
one up.
live.
I'm gonna pull one up on my phone so I can see what it looks like.
Okay, it looks like us looking at some cameras and me looking at my computer.
I'm looking at myself.
And Pat's looking at himself.
Let's see here. I'm still. There's a lag, so it's still.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Nothing like our own music.
So yeah. Okay, that looks
when we
nice.
talk about somebody else's music
That looks good.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
So,
to ease into it.
All right. So should we just rip
yeah,
it
I
off
think we
what
should
we're
try to-
doing?
Yeah, we'll just approach it like a podcast because I don't know if we'll get too many live viewers this
Yeah.
first or ever, but especially this first one.
It might be. It's gonna be us doing what we normally do, but recording it and using it for evidence further down the road for blackmail. We're doing a live level log session, and this is gonna be us kind of just talking about stuff we like and what we think of it, and
Kinda like
sharing
a-
it with the world.
It's going to be a weekly YouTube series, kind of like a mini podcast, but live on YouTube every week.
Yep. Starting with the week of today,
Yeah.
and today's topic of discussion.
Well, before we get into that, why don't we
Oh.
just like say our names real quick
Oh, okay.
for
Well,
people who might not know us. I imagine most people that would tune
yeah.
in would know us. But
We're not going to get too many people like, you know what I like? People I don't know talking about something I don't care about.
you never know. We might get some random Gogo Bordello fans
Yeah, that-
eventually down the line.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's a lot of partiers out there.
Yeah.
Party. This is the band Sea Level coming at you straight out of Coda's apartment. I'm Dave.
I'm Pat.
And I am Coda.
I play the voice box and the strings
I play the drum box.
And I do the basing.
and the bassing, which is why we're basing this
And
first
we are here to party.
party.
That looks heavy.
You look so cool.
How does it taste?
Good. That one was for Eugene Huntz.
Today, the topic of discussion is Gogo Bordello's Super Taranta. Their fifth
Is their
recorded
fourth-
album.
their-
At fifth. I
their-
don't know why I showed four. I'm so used to everything we do being four related. But it's their fifth recorded thing. Fifth recording and their like second real recording. Like it's their second LP.
I
say.
consider it their fourth.
What were the other recordings that were LPs?
I consider
Um,
it their fourth album.
Hold on.
It was released on July 10th, 2007.
Oh wow. You're right. You're spot on.
It
Their
is
other
their, despite what Dave's saying, I consider it their fourth release.
That's what I was saying. I was saying it was their fifth. And it's like
that's
their
not
second
fourth.
like full.
So
full
you're
length.
saying 5 and 2. Neither of those are 4, but yeah.
I hate it when you guys fight.
What do you
This
think it is,
tearing
Pat?
us apart.
I'm asking.
All right, I'm pulling up their official discography, and this is what it looks like. I'm bouncing over so the internet can see. So they're gonna lose our faces. We're looking at Super Taranta, which we're talking about today, coming out in 2007. Before that, we had
Gypsy Punks.
Gypsy Punks, which came out 2005. In 2002, we had a record. 2004, we had a record. And then we had the EP, The East Infection. And live, I'm not going to count the live ones.
Yeah, so that would be their fourth album.
Cody is correct.
Cody is correct.
So welcome to the show. That's how things are going to go around here usually.
Really,
Pat's
fast,
Pat's the moderator,
really quick.
and I'm typically right, and Dave is typically wrong.
Yeah, and it's a healthy relationship. And we
And the
grow
funniest part
from
is
our
he had 2
mistakes.
guesses out of 5, and he still didn't get it.
Well, okay, if we're counting all their EPs and stuff, it's later. It's later than sooner.
Yeah, Dave.
But what I wanted to do was show you all these video clips, and Eugene considers this to be like one of their coming together records. Like this was
ultimate
penultimate.
The name of the first song is Ultimate.
Yeah, speaking of,
same-
yeah, do you know the first lyric of the album, Dave?
If you are not here to do
You gonna finish it?
No, I'm just gonna. I thought we would do a cool like Brady Bunch thing where I would say it, then you would say it, and we would look down at Pat and he would
what
say
you and I want to do, and forever go crazy with it. Why the hell are we even here?
Yeah.
I think that little phrase and that song specifically,
Yeah.
pretty much sums up Gogo Bordello as a band and the album. Like
Definitely.
That's like that. Especially
Sums up this podcast also.
This album particular. Yeah.
Was it that party? That I think it's because of that lyric coming in right when it does that this has been like my favorite Gogo Bordello record. Like I go to this one way more than any of the other ones. And I think it's just because of that opening track.
Punch you right in the face. Well, both of them. The second song,
yeah,
Wanderlust King. So it gives you the 2-punch combo.
That was like the only song I had known before I listened to the whole album.
Wonderlust?
Yeah, Wanderlust King.
Gotcha.
But when I saw them for the first time, when I was re-listening to it, I recognized a lot of the songs. Like they did American Wedding. They did Super Theory of Everything.
Yeah, they have a lot of like songs that they typically play live a lot from this one.
Yeah, this one had a lot of bangers, you can say.
Yeah, when we talked about it beforehand, I said that it was one of my like least favorite of their albums, but listening back to it leading up to this, I was tripping. It's definitely one of their best ones.
Yeah, I was doing all this research, looking up interviews from around this time, from 2007.
Did all that research, but you didn't.
I know I can't show it to you guys now.
You
which
forgot
sucks.
to look up
but
how many albums.
Well, I did, and it's according to their website, it's their 5th release.
I'm just messing with you.
And
What's on the website?
all right, I'm pulling up the website.
I thought you already pulled up the website.
It went off just like the
Oh, no, you don't have to do all this, dog. Now you set the mic down, they can't even hear you.
That's all right. You guys are talking. I'm bouncing over to the thing.
Dave's at the control centers, and
Plug in Gogo Bordello's beautiful website here, and if we go to their music, and look at this really cool graphic.
we have one person in the chat. Or they haven't said anything, but
Yeah, because they're like, these guys.
it's probably Kelly if we're being real.
Party!
Party!
Party! So
That was bound to happen.
So in 1999, come check this out really quick. This is what the audience is
Me?
viewing.
Over
Yeah,
there?
yeah, you can come over here.
I just spilled wine, dog.
Oh, party. So right here we have their first record, the second one, this third one. Yeah, this is like a Eugene one, and then this. So these are all like B-sides. Yep. And then we got the first heavy hitter, and then.
Which, if it isn't made clear, the word Taranta
I was right.
means party.
Party. Hold on, we froze up here. Our images froze up.
Classic YouTube.
Because you just had to go to that
I had to go to the thing. Now I lost Cody.
We've all definitely losing Cody.
Always losing Cody.
You have to clean up a stain. This is
It's all
what's
right.
fun.
We're freezing, but we're talking. It's a good time. We're all having fun. I'm moving again. Pat, I believe you're moving again.
As everybody knows, wine stain,
Yeah.
you really got to act on it.
Yeah.
It's not something that we can wait till after the podcast to clean. It's got to happen right
This
now.
is Pat's ad for wine stain cleaning.
So Cody,
dollar store
Cody's
paper.
gonna try to podcast while he wipes up a wine stain in his carpet.
This podcast brought to you by Clorox wipes.
The reason he's drinking the wine is Eugene is known for his consumption of alcohol.
And often spilling it.
Bing, bing,
So,
bing, bing, bing,
I feel like
bing.
this was just the spirit of Eugene, really.
Alcohol.
Yeah, man.
Both times I saw them.
He took my
poured
camera
wine
away.
on himself.
Yeah, every time I've seen him.
He pours it on himself and then all over the audience. On
See,
us,
I went a
when we
step.
went.
Cody, let's see this spillage here behind the guitar, which is a perfect.
Oh yeah, we're gonna let everybody see the stain because we want you to be a part of the show.
Hope they all saw that weird fucking Spider-Man thing that you forced me to have. Dave's been giving me several gifts lately. You got it flipped towards you though. How do I flip it? Oh. Dave's been giving me several gifts lately that are like.
He's been giving you like
weird,
little animated things
weird
in text messages.
No, gifts with a T.
Oh, gifts.
That are just
I
weird.
thought you said gifts.
Like that Thor sticker. Like weird things that are cool and nice, but like just weird.
All right. We're back 100%.
Yeah,
Everyone's
man,
on
that's
screen.
classic YouTube. You had to be ready for that. Let's see.
Yeah.
YouTube
We got 2 viewers now.
YouTube can
All right.
bounce.
Whoever
and
the 2
change on
viewers
you.
are, say something in the chat. Give me something in the chat so I know who you are, or that you're at least
Cody
real.
is calling out.
It might be a YouTube bot.
That's all right. We can use some robot discussion.
That's fine. But yeah, back to Gogo Bordello. And
So, yeah,
and the concept of
And
wine
wine.
stains.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's 100%. This is method acting. Actually, kind of use that empty wine bottle, so I feel like I'm more.
Yeah,
ready
I could
after
pour
party?
you some water in it.
I'm all right.
He's not on camera.
There's
Yeah,
remnants.
I'm on camera.
Oh.
I'm on camera with the
Thought
empty
it was
wine
just-
bottle. This podcast is brought to you
We're not
by
fooling anybody though.
Arbor Mist.
Yeah, man.
You know what? I was thinking about this. I don't drink.
Party.
I don't have any plan to drink, but
Boy, does
If I
Eugene
could-
make it look.
he makes it look
Thirst quenching.
so fun.
It's like a Gatorade ad, but with
It does
wine.
look like a.
Like like those old Gatorade ads when they would sweat the color Gatorade they were drinking.
Exactly.
It's him, but it's burgundy because of the Merlot
Yeah, man.
that he was drinking.
That's awesome.
Nothing in the chat. Fuck.
It's all good.
Bots. It's those bots.
Fucking bots.
Bots and bots and bots and bots.
I'm just kidding. I love you, bots.
They're gonna be like, they don't appreciate us. We're dipping. But yeah, for me, this record has been the one I always go back to. 'Cause I feel like
So you would say this is your favorite one?
favorite one for sure. And as you know,
Wow,
Cody,
hot take.
when
That's
every
crazy.
every time Gogo Bordello comes out with a new record, that's all I listen to for like months.
Totally.
Like their last record, what was the name of the last one?
Oh,
Nah,
my mom texted me
yeah.
and said that she's one of the mysterious bots,
All
but
right.
it won't let her comment. Thanks for watching, Mom.
Phew.
Mom bot.
The other one is likely your mom, and she's in the same predicament.
they're just struggling at a keyboard. I don't know.
We're new to this, but we're going to
Yeah.
try to figure this out. I would say my favorite one of theirs is Pura Vida.
Yeah, that's the latest one. Pure
It's-
Vida.
No. Seekers and Finders is the
Oh,
latest
yeah.
one.
Seekers and Finders 2000. I got pushed the arrow.
Dave is on their website with a list of all of the albums, and he's still.
But
can't
yeah, it
quite-
only shows you 3 at a time.
Yeah, so Dave has.
Five.
Have you ever seen that bit where it's you got to move your checking, your savings? That's like Dave's whole life. That's a metaphor for Dave's whole life. He's always like, well, it only shows you 3. Like it's always just some weird thing that Dave's like, well, I have to transfer this thing to there if you really want it to work. But I will say
I'm gonna hide Pat's face.
He got all this to work.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at fucking doing the thing. I don't know if YouTube's gonna let us swear too much. Now that I think of it, I shouldn't swear too.
Oh.
Have we been swearing? I don't know how YouTube works.
Pat, what's your favorite Gogo Bordello album?
See, the problem is mine is transcontinental
Mm.
because but that's just because it was my first,
That's how I
and
kind of.
I have listened to that one the most. Although
Yeah.
now, Super Taranta is kind of
filling that
creeping up.
void.
creeping up. But that's why I really like Gogo Bordello so much, is because they have so much music for such like a genre. I'm using air quotes, like a genre that is pretty like limited.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like if you've heard one, Django Reinhardt kind of
You get the feel,
gypsy song kind of
vibe,
music.
feel. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of up-tempo jazz stuff with the like acoustic guitar. And
They have like a reggae vibe too, because their bass player lays it down with that reggae feel,
yeah,
and the way that they kind of chuck. It's kind of like
Yeah.
reggae on crystal meth or something.
Yeah, there's like no backbeat ever in their songs. It is almost always like in
Yeah,
some
but
kind of
even-
way. There almost is like no snare unless
Yeah.
it's like they go into like the punk part of the song.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
But that's weird that beat is so driving. You know what I mean? Like,
it's what it just gets people moving.
yeah.
And when you see them live, it's
Yeah,
just
so
so
that's
obvious.
my Gogo Bordello story. Is so Dave, I don't know if I ever told you this, Pat, but Dave got me into or he tried to get me into them. He played me their music. I remember it was in like one of his many beatdown vans he's had, and I was like, "This sucks. This is horrible." And then we went and saw Primus at the LC in Columbus.
Yeah.
And it was me, Dave, and Devin. And Dave was sick, and he just like laid on.
So sick.
I don't know if you've been to the LC. It's like kind of like Mini Blossom.
No,
got-
because I went to the show in Cleveland.
Same
on the
tour.
Same tour. Yeah,
the
that's
same
right.
tour, and it was the first time I saw them. I went to go see Primus, and
Same.
I didn't like them when I first saw them because I didn't know that it was like a double bill.
Yeah.
So it was the first concert I ever went to, so I was just like waiting for
Oh, yeah, I
Primus.
always forget.
So I was very impatient.
Your story is so much epicer than ours in that
Yeah.
sense. Dave just basically slept on the hill the whole time.
After Gogo Bardello out, even during their set, I was like,
He was really
down.
sick laying
I
down.
was just like,
and so me and Devin just kind of
Marty.
like rocked out. He was just this dude. People probably thought he was messed up on drugs.
Yeah, this would have been more appropriate
um,
next to me in the state I was in at that. I was
But
like,
yeah, I didn't like them,
wanna
and I
throw
went
up.
there to see Primus, and they rocked out so hard.
Yeah, they just get the
That
crowd.
I ended up liking them. They're at least liking their performance that night more than Primus, because Primus was kind of like super trippy and like light show. It just wasn't my thing. They
Yeah.
were kind of playing slow. They were doing long, slow jams, and Gogo Bardello just came out there
Yeah.
like blew me away.
I tell you, once you get to a certain point as a jam band, you have to invest in lights.
yeah, that's a
Because,
good-
I mean, I don't know how you're a successful jam band without a ridiculous.
I think that's what made Primus a jam
ridiculous-
band. I think Primus was on that like bridge right there,
Yeah,
and they were like, "How do we really tip it over and
we
become
do
an
official
official?"
for like more than
jam
5
band.
minutes,
And their
we
manager
have
was like,
nice lights.
buy some lights.
And then they had that cool astronaut. Was that the one on that tour? They had
Yeah.
the blow up astronaut. Yeah.
Because that was the T-shirt that they had.
What was it? Yeah, Zach Dimmer showed me Gogo Bardello. and
Yeah,
he
so I
showed me-
remember going to the House of Blues and seeing them.
Yeah.
I had an extra ticket, and I just gave it to Zach Dimmer, and he was like, "It's so crazy because he's such a mellow guy,
Yeah.
but at shows he'll be like crowd surfing and stage diving, and like it's just crazy."
Yeah.
See, that's the show where you want to stage dive.
For sure. And
Because Eugene's all over the place.
yeah. Actually, I don't know if it's the same for you, Cody, but for me, when we went to Riot Fest and saw them party, this was the
How
first.
many times have we seen them, and have we
Party
been
swig.
together every single time we've seen them?
I think so.
I think 4 times.
Yeah. You might have seen them a few times at the Riot Fest I didn't go to.
Okay, so maybe I saw him 4 and you saw him 3.
I
You
feel
got
like
a
I've
better
seen them 4
memory than me.
times. As I seen them.
Alcohol.
I feel like maybe there's one. Oh, we saw them at House of Blues. Saw them at
The LC in Columbus,
LC in Columbus.
Riot Fest in Chicago.
Riot
then
Fest in
Agora.
Chicago. And Agora. So you probably seen them 5 times.
Okay,
Where I've seen them
fuck.
4.
See,
Jesus.
that's how you know you've been to a lot of shows, because this is how it is every time someone
Yeah.
asks me, "How many times have you seen that band?" I'm always like,
Enough?
Or
not
How many albums does Snoop Dogg have?
Somewhere
It's like less than 20.
Somewhere between 20 and 30.
Solid Hannibal plug.
So what's your guys' like favorite song on the album, Dave? Start
Oh
off.
man, there's a lot. Ultimate for sure, because Eugene's got this way of taking like this broken grammar and making this like one hit sentence, like
Totally.
this zinger.
Yeah.
The quote Primus.
It kind of
They can't
reminds
all be singers.
it
They can,
reminds
but
me of
Eugene can make them
their
all
their
zingers.
logo, because their logo is the slingshot.
Yeah,
with the what?
The
That's like the
fist.
gypsy star in it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And so that's kind of how it's like one lyric, and he just like slingshots it right into your brain.
Yeah, because like
That's a good-
when I was looking up some of the lyrics, because sometimes they're talking in whatever language it is.
Yeah.
I won't try to pretend that I know what it is. I was looking up lyrics, and I was surprised with just how little lyrics there are. Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But it's like he'll have like one of the songs only has like 3 stanzas.
Yeah, they're kind of like Minutemen-esque in the lyrics in that way.
and there's like so much music in every song.
Definitely. Which I think I thought your reaction to it before was how when I showed you that video that follows this album with their Live at Axe's album. That's that video I was showing you guys where Eugene was kind of playing all the parts on the guitar.
yeah.
To me, that was mind-blowing to learn that he like was behind so much of that. And like
Yeah, that made listening to the record a different experience, knowing that he orchestrates all that.
Like, because I know the 2 dudes he started with, the accordion player and the violinist, were pretty renowned in New York, and like they really had to hustle to get the accordion
Yeah,
player.
so for anyone who's just tuning in, doesn't know Gogo Bordello's story, their main dude, their singer Eugene Huntz, is from Ukraine, and I believe he came over to New York to pursue music.
What was it? I can't remember if it was a family thing or was to get out of the situation they were in. There's a good documentary called Non-Stop that tells this story.
Pretty much, he met up with the accordion player and the violin player, and they were like the core group that started it.
Top 3 accordion bands.
But I love their bass player, Tommy T.
Solid
Tommy
bass player.
T is the man.
Do, 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 do.
My favorite song on the record is Tribal Connection. And Tommy T sings on that one. He has a cool line.
That's who it was. Okay.
Yeah, he says we're going to turn frustration into inspiration. Yeah. So he has a solo album that I bought at one of their shows. I'll let you borrow it because I don't think it's on Spotify.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or if it is, I just never found it. But it's really good. It's all just dub reggae.
I have a feeling that the bass, Eugene does almost everything except for the drums and the bass. That's my impression.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
At least from that video we saw, he writes it all, and at least
He's got like everything, but there's something about like the bass lines that
What-
just seem like
Ooh,
Tony did them, and that's where they wrote the song from.
I feel you
Like the frequencies.
for sure.
so one thing, he joined Gogo Bordello in 2006. So this would have been the
Tommy
first.
T?
Yeah, this would have been the first Gogo Bordello record with him,
Nice.
Damn, he gets to sing.
and he gets to sing. He's
Because he changed the band. Like
yeah.
before
Well,
that, they didn't have that dub reggae feel that I was talking about. It's
Mhm.
like beneath the songs almost.
Definitely. That like
He's the foundation.
is.
But yeah, I was telling I was riding around with Marley yesterday listening to this record, and
Which is your younger sister,
my little sister Marley.
not the
and
ghost of Bob Marley.
I told you.
He's with us always.
Yeah.
I had told you guys before that she got my car a couple weeks ago, and I think it was Gypsy Punks was in my CD player. The album before this, their 3rd album. And she got in, and it was at some weird part in the song.
4th.
And so she was just weirded out, like, what is this music? And I told you this story. I was like,
It's very intense.
I was like, check this song out, and I put on Start Wearing Purple, and we drove past someone that happened to be wearing purple, and
Make that
It was-
mistake.
it was a moment. So when she got in my car yesterday, or my van, and I had this album playing, she goes, "This is the band that wants everyone to wear purple."
This is that
That's
purple
awesome.
And I was like,
You mean
yep,
Prince?
You're right.
You
And-
mean the revolution?
But she was
Nope.
I noticed yesterday she was rocking out. She was hitting like a little.
Boom. That's awesome.
Yeah.
She's probably watching with my
It's
mom.
contagious.
It definitely is.
We got
Can't get
3
through the whole
viewers
song.
now.
Ooh, snap. So,
If you're not a bot, text me.
but I definitely think there is something contagious about Gogo Bordello. So, like, when Zach showed me them, I was like, is it a bit? Are they a thing? This is crazy. And
Same.
then
I was like, why is their music sound like that? And I think that's every American's perspective, because it's jarring to hear, like, even like you mentioned Django Reinhardt. So like, even if you know gypsy music somewhat,
Yeah, like
you've never heard gypsy punk music.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's jarring for
The-
for probably anyone.
Yeah,
to hear, I
the only
guess.
thing that I had listened to previously that compared to it was Caravan Palace,
Mm-hmm.
which is like gypsy disco or
Gotcha.
techno. I'm sorry, it's more
Nice.
more drum and bass kind of stuff, but it's also got that up tempo, upbeat. Ding, 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 party, 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 party.
What? Party. There is a
See-
substantial amount of parties and after parties thrown in this record too, which is awesome.
Yeah, we were calling them the secret nuggets, or what were you guys saying? The
The
go-
sec-
the
what
the,
do we-
the
what do
hidden gems. I
The
don't
hidden
know.
gems.
Pat had a name for them.
I can't remember what
In,
Pat's
bet-
name was.
in parts of the songs, Eugene will just sneak in party after party.
After party. I want to know where that came from.
It's just like I think of like ska bands when they do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Pick
the
it up.
rhythm. Dig it up, dig it up, dig it up, dig it up.
But yeah, it's so prominent in all their stuff though. Under the layers, there's the after party.
It's because he loves to party, and it's like, yeah, if you sneak it on the record, then it's just there.
Because
When you do it live, it's already there.
And a lot of the songs are like call and response pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's like like I said, he doesn't have a lot of lyrics, so they stretch it out that way by basically having everything happen twice. At least like every lyric or at least the last few words of it.
Pep.
Yeah.
Like
makes
Wonder
sense.
Lost King when they 7 seas at least, you know, they're
Yeah,
kinda
yeah,
trading with
and
the
then
backup
I
vocals.
don't read the Bible. Bible.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's like three or four like extra people in the band that just do backup.
That's what I was
vocals
so
and
part of. Yes,
percussion.
yeah, part of since Marley was kind of digging it yesterday. I kind of explained the band to her, and one of the things I said to her, and I don't know if I'm 100% true with this, but I think it's somewhat true at least. So at least like currently, so Eugene is from Ukraine, and I think, like I said, I think one of the other members is also from Ukraine. But most of the
Fiddler?
members of the band are from different parts of the world. Like,
Yeah.
the bass player's from Jamaica, and I'm pretty sure their drummer's from Los Angeles, and their guitar player's from like London. So they're kind of like a world band in that sense, where they have someone that represents every part of the globe, and they play this music that kind of combines different parts of the globe too.
It's definitely a cool celebratory way that encompass all these different cultures under like one, or I should say with one underlying drive, which is like this energy that they all bring,
Which
this,
is
like punk
Eugene.
attitude.
It
Yeah, pretty
reminds
much.
me of one lyric
Well, I
from
I
Gypsy
think it
Punks.
because Eugene keeps it all sounding kind of the same.
In
like,
a good way.
I
yeah.
mean like literally like album to album it still sounds like Gogo Bordello.
Yeah.
As
yeah,
opposed to sounding like, oh, now it just sounds like a reggae band.
Ah.
Or now they just sound like a punk band with an acoustic guitarist.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying they have like a good foundation for sounding different. It reminds me of that one lyric he has on Gypsy Punks where he says, "Be it punk, hip hop, or be a reggae song, it is all connected to that gypsy part of town. Let's go."
That's a good way to
Definitive
for sure.
Eugene line.
Was it well? Okay, so we kind of been bouncing all over. What is your favorite? Wait, you said your favorite was Tribal Connection.
Yeah.
All right, and then what was your favorite? Did we?
I'm tied between American Wedding and the one right before it, which is Your Country.
Your Country. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. I'll say my least favorite one is Alcohol.
What was it? It's a
My
good,
least favorite is the dub the Frequencies of Love.
Okay, yeah, that one's kind of weird. He gets out there.
Was it?
I don't think it's dubby enough. That's why.
Fair enough. I've always
Well-
thought that too.
I was like, this could be dubbier.
I've
Also, I don't
see.
really
This
know
is why
what
me
that-
and Pat connect so well.
I don't know what that means either. Dub the Frequencies of Love.
See, I do.
Tell me exactly what that means. This is why we're doing the podcast. So I
See,
can
that's a whole other podcast, though.
No, this is why we're doing it. I need to know.
It's like a musical thing, you know? Music thing, man.
The frequencies in the air.
That's awesome. I would have to go with. I don't know. I like 'em- I like all these.
You
songs
said
a
Ultimate.
lot.
I don't think
Ultimate's
Ultimate's. I don't think Ultimate's a fair pick because that's like the best song. So you have to pick.
Yeah.
You have to pick your favorite song.
I guess second favorite would be Super Theory
That's a good
of Super Everything, and Tribal Connections. We already
Didn't
we
we
did it a
cover?
few
We covered
times.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to cover it.
We played at the first festival we ever played at was called Tribal Connection, and it was just me and Dave, and I believe we played like a 15-minute acoustic set. It was very rough.
Did not go well.
My favorite.
We had this era of the band where we had no drummers, and we would get these decent gigs from back when we did have a drummer, and we did
Yeah.
seem like a good band. And we would play acoustic, and I remember some of the guys I work with coming to see that one gig we played at the grog shop.
Yeah,
We
there's a
had
video. of it.
Didgeridoo, and
They're like-
there was a whole.
There was a didgeridoo.
It was
Didgeridoo,
wild.
not
It was a
bring it up.
wild gig.
There was a didgeridoo in that Bamboozled movie.
So yeah, sometimes if people just come to a show like that, they're like, "Whoa, these guys." Suck.
That's like the one thing Gogo Bordello is missing. I think is a didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo not listen
Yeah,
to
I
Go
think
Go
you're
Bordello.
wrong.
Eugene Didgeridoo not do that.
10,000
Didgeridoo, please keep the didgeridoos far from Go Go Bordello. And I like American Wedding a lot too.
American Wedding's a cool song. I mentioned to you guys the Frank Ocean song the other day, and I, of course, was listening to that yesterday. But they have cool, similar themes. But yeah, that's one I was listening to yesterday, and I think that's one of the coolest themed songs on the album. Kind of like it's kind of like a movie. You can picture it.
Yeah, you can definitely. If you had to,
because it's about the difference between American weddings and the Ukrainian Russo
Exactly.
kind of weddings where it's way more fun and
He
way
kind of
more
just lays it
ruckus.
out flat. He's like, yeah, America's pretty not cool. It's cool, but what you guys do could be
everybody's
way.
lame
It could
and
be
has-
way cooler.
They got to wake up in the morning.
they got, yeah, I think that's a whole societal thing. Because when I was listening to interviews with him, he was talking that he was doing all these interviews with people that didn't know who he was or anything about Gogo Bordello, and they would
They were just like, "So how's your
they would-
mustache?"
yeah, they would ask about just what's a festival like, blah blah blah, and someone would ask what's there was one interview in particular where they're like, what's the difference between the music scene here in Europe and in New York, and he was going off about how it's and not really that aggressive, but he was going off saying it's the same no matter where you are in Western culture. It's when you get out of that it's different.
For
So
sure.
I think a lot of what's cool about Eugene's his zingers or his concepts of songs is it's looking at things from a huge perspective, even within the
global
band, a glabble perspective, and finds a way to bring it home in one little bit. I don't know,
He's
I
a
would
good
say it's
writer.
more
He's
of a-
definitely the reason the band is so good. I mean, it's his band. He's an amazing songwriter.
yeah.
And even their newest record, I feel like he can still he's just always gonna be able to write a classic gypsy punk song.
Yeah. If you had to, I guess, sum up this album, to wrap it up here, because we are hitting that 35-minute mark, Cody. What would this record?
Let's just say this: not one fart on camera yet.
Not one far on
Good
camera,
job,
so we
boys.
haven't
So far, so good.
partied hard enough
More
Um,
party for the after party.
for the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
save the
saving-
farts for the after party. Do you want to plug why you have to bounce? Do you want to plug the
I
other
don't have to
podcast?
bounce.
Okay. Well, I
We got
mean,
time.
how we have to bounce off this topic of Gogo Bordello.
Well, I will plug that next week we're gonna so this little series we're doing a mini podcast. Like I said, each week we're gonna have a different topic that we talk about.
Next
ki-
is politics.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess topic isn't a good thing. A different piece of art, I guess, would be a better
Yeah.
thing. So next week we're talking about what was it?
Buzzkill.
Yeah, okay, Buzzkill. I didn't want to say okay. I wasn't sure if it was that or the other thing. So next week we're talking about Buzz.
Oh, the next thing, the thing after that
Oh,
is
yeah, it's
definitely
gonna be-
art.
Yeah, no, actually,
It is.
it
art.
is. So yeah, next week we're gonna do this same sort of thing. We're gonna talk about
It's gonna be way better.
a comic book by my favorite comic book writer, Donny Cates, and
Babu.
it's called Buzzkill. It came out in 2015. It's one of his earlier works. And it's 4 issues long. If anyone would like to like read it or something before we talk about it next week, if any of the 3 people watching, which is probably my mom, Dave's mom, and maybe Pat's mom. And so,
Moms.
anyways, next week we're gonna talk about a comic book called Buzzkill. It's
Which
by
we also
Donnie
have
Cates and Jeff Shaw. He's the artist on it because we'll credit everyone next week when we're more prepared. But yeah, we're all reading it together. So that's what we did for this week. We've all heard this album before, but we had
a listening club.
Yeah, we listened to it a bunch of times and gathered up some things to talk about. That's what we're gonna do with that book next week. It's 4 issues. I've read it. Dave's read it. Pat's reading it right now.
Yeah. Before we leave the topic of Super Taranta, I wanted to ask as like a close-off question, what's this record mean for you, Cody? Like,
I think that first line that I said from Ultimate is pretty much sums it up. It's just like the logo. It's just like a slingshot to the face of
this album
revolution.
Is a
That's what it is.
Pellet.
It's the Revolution Star. It's not the Gypsy Star. It's the Revolution Star in their logo being slingshotted. So yeah, to me it's just
Revolution hitting you in the face.
Exactly. It's just a really pungent hit in the face sort of classic Gogo Bordello album.
What about you, Pat?
I just love that it's at they're at like they turn it up to like 11 for the entire album. Aside from
all the songs go to 11.
All of these go to 11. And except for Alcohol, that's a slow song.
Yeah, I will say I don't
absolutely all of them are it's almost exhausting to listen to. Like the whole album.
How fast it is, yeah.
Just like how loud and
how much is happening at once. I will say I don't like songs that have alcohol just as the title. I've always thought that was corny.
Yeah.
They have to be really good to make me like them. And Fishbone has a song called Alcohol.
Alcoholic.
Oh yeah, that's what it's called, Alcoholic. Yeah, and I don't even really like that one.
What was it?
That one's definitely better than the Gogo Bordello song.
Alcoholic.
Shots fired.
Because it's really hard for Fishbone to write a bad song.
Yeah, we gotta talk about Fishbone.
Ooh.
We gotta have an hour.
I was telling Marley that Eugene is in the Fishbone doc, and he has a quote where he says,
"Yes, he is."
He says the vastness of, and I'm just paraphrasing, but he says like the vastness of the influences that they were drawing from were just too wide for anyone to really
pin down
and understand or whatever. And I was like, whoa, that's such a cool way to describe Fishbone and Gogo Bordello. That kind of works for his
that's
band
what he
too.
I
that's
see.
What he took
Okay.
from it.
I thought
okay,
you were
we're down to one viewer. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. For me, this record is kind of a lot. I go to this record all the time. I have a stupid schedule, and like punk for me became like a thing later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so in college when I was working, teaching, and taking classes and playing in multiple bands and doing all this stuff.
In the earlier periods of your college, because your college thing lasted a while.
Yeah, lasted. Well,
Pat
that was kind
Pat
of.
can say when I was in college, and we'll know like.
Yeah, exactly.
The general area for you, it's like.
Yeah, about the time I was doing the CSU thing, like for those like 4 years, it was nonstop. So I would always listen to music that was kind of like that, and that goes like, okay, let's go. And so I listened to a lot of this record
like
and a lot
coffee.
of Raw Power. So this record has always been like a fuel for me, and like to be able to talk about it for a little bit and listen to it with you guys has been a lot of fun. And
same, I agree. It was really fun to talk about it and listen to it, and I'm looking forward to next week talking about something else with you guys, my buds in my band, C Level.
Letter C dash.
Yeah, so if you want to find us, somehow you found us on YouTube, which is challenging. So I'm sure you can find us on other places like Instagram and Facebook and Spotify, Apple Music, and all that. Smash the fuck out of the like and subscribe button. Like if you're watching on your phone, there's one person watching. I want you to punch your phone where the like button is repeatedly until you actually hit it.
And
it counts.
I don't know. So we're gonna sign off with that. I've always bounced to Eugene's interviews too, because he's like Joe Strummer in the way of just dropping one-liners.
So you're
that
gonna drop to a nice Eugene clip.
I'm gonna drop to a one thing that I found really inspiring, and it's pretty on the nose. It's Eugene talking about failure.
Taranta,
Thanks.
Taranta, Super Taranta.
And we're out. Whoops. Play this clip.
Fuck about it. And I assure you that nobody from people who are consistent with their creative flow give a motherfucking fuck about that either. Because ups and downs is a normal condition of any artist and any human being. And the lower you're gonna fall, the higher you can fly, as Friedrich Nietzsche said. So what the fuck is a problem with a failure? There's no problem. Even if you fail, so fucking what? It's not a big deal. And best artists have collapsed enormously. So it's like lack of failure is kind of a sign of